Welcome back to another episode of Podcast, the greatest podcast in the world. Thank you for tuning in again. If you are a repeat viewer, if you are new here, welcome. I would like to thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure, or it will be a pleasure. We've got a whole episode ahead of us. I am Josh, I am Coast Fridge or whatever. Unfortunately, our co-host today, Wolfie, couldn't make it, and that is quite sad, but he's feeling a bit under the weather right now, so I've had to sub in a couple co-hosts here today who will introduce themselves as so.
Craig or Cog.
Hi, I'm Ollie. Doing my best to sub in for Wolfman.
You got high expectations to meet here today, gentlemen. But I'd like to happily introduce our first new guest. I mean, not new guest, but new guest of the episode. New guest of the episode.
Special guest.
Yeah. Sophie, welcome to podcast. Welcome.
All the way from Florida.
All the way from Florida.
Wonderful Florida. Totally. It's great here.
It's
Nice
great.
and sunny.
Nice and sunny.
So, kicking it straight off, what's it like to live in Florida?
Palm trees, beaches, crackheads,
Bitches.
shooting.
Yeah, I was gonna say beaches or bitches?
Crackheads.
Both.
What are the crackheads like? Like, what
Honestly,
you have any interesting situations that you've been in?
I have a ton of interesting situations.
You gotta give us some of your best.
Some of my best. I'd honestly say the best one. I was working, and I was on break, and I used to go on my breaks outside because it was just nice outside. And there's this lady. She comes up. She was with a man, and they were like recording, and they were obviously like just on one, you know. They're like about a good 5 feet away from me, you know. This lady's dancing and like scream singing and just like looks not okay. And they're recording me, and I'm just on my phone having the literal most important conversation of my life. And she's like dancing at me and like scream singing at me and recording me, and I was not having it. I was not in the mood for it. And she like inches closer and closer, and as she's inching closer, like starts getting like more aggressive to the point where like her scream singing turns more into like screamo, you know?
Right.
To the point where she's yeah.
Fucking hell.
She's
Metal.
quite literally in my face, a good like 2 inches away from my face. And then she screams at me, and she's like, "Do you not see me putting on a show for you?" And like I was obviously on a really important call at this time, and I was not having it. I was like, "Sorry, no, I didn't," because like I am so non-confrontational. I'm not gonna be like, "Please get out of my face." And she gets really mad and like tries like pushing me and shoving me, and then I just run away. Honestly, I was not about to get into that.
Come on, did you not see the show that she was putting on for you?
It was a very nice show. I will admit it was a very nice show, but she got very angry and quite literally tried getting physical. So I went back into work, and for the rest of the 6 hours of my shift, she was standing at the window, staring at me like the grudge. It was very terrifying. Not gonna lie.
Ah, okay, she wasn't something different.
She is on something.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that gives us the confirmation that we need to know that that Florida people are on some serious shit sometimes. But
They are.
speaking of some serious shit sometimes, ladies and gentlemen of the call, do you have your beverages with you? I know I do. I am
Of
currently...
Of course I
course.
do, at all times.
Exactly. I'm on a bottle of wine. Craig, you better have some drinks with you now.
Yes.
Exactly.
Being Irish, you know, you got to live up to
Exactly. Live up to the name. Massive alcoholic.
Listen to this racism, ladies and gentlemen. Actual racist.
It's not
Cultural
racism
appropriation.
if it's true. It's
No,
not
it's
racism if
racism.
it's true.
Racism.
Craig, we all know how much you
Shocking.
drink. You can't deny
Shocking.
it.
All right, go on. Let's shift it away from racism and stuff. Let's not get banned in the 15 minutes of the interview here, ladies.
That's
and
true. That's true. That's true.
gentlemen. So Sophie, I heard you were big on cars.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so-
Why do you like cars?
Yeah. So what led to this?
See, with me, it was more like my dad was always like interested in them as I was growing up. So like I was kind of interested in them, and then obviously like growing older, like getting into different things, like it eventually just kind of happened, and like I never delved deep to the point where I can like fully like swap an engine,
Yeah, but how much do
But
you
Wow.
understand when you say you're into cars? How much, or like, yeah, how much do you know? I think that's the big question here.
see, with me, I know more than like the average person, I'd say, but like I don't know enough to be like, oh my god, I'm a car person, Like I'm interested in cars, but I'm not like full on like, oh my god, every Friday I go to the meets. I go to car meets as like much as I can.
It's a car
But like
meets? Oh,
Go to
damn.
car
yeah.
meets. Holy
Florida
shit.
car meets hit different.
What,
They hit
specifically the
different.
Florida ones?
Yeah, because
Whoa. Run that back. Are you dissing other car meets?
no, I am not
People
dissing other
from North
car meets.
Korea, listen up. People
Yeah,
from North Korea,
North
she's
Korea, if
dissing.
you're
See,
tuning in, she's dissing the
She's
car meets.
dissing.
You gotta up your game.
see,
Tank meets.
Florida car meets hit different in the way that they'll just do stupid stuff, like so stupid to the point where it's funny, and like it's a great time. You guys need to come. I'll take you to a car meet and you'll understand. You'll get the hype.
Podcast episode at a car meet?
Podcast tour at
Yeah,
car meet? No
podcast
way.
IRL.
Podcast IRL. I think that
Oh,
becomes
God.
a vlog. Podcast vlog. Podcast
That's
Vlog?
dangerous.
Exactly.
What's
No,
what's like the best cars you see at car meets then?
Yeah, go on then.
You have your JDM cars, you have your like European cars, and you have your like, oh my god, it's off Lambo, Like there's a
Yes,
couple
sure.
Lambos.
The Lambo.
The
Yeah, there's
Lambo. Sorry,
Lamb.
on
a
the accent
couple
a little bit.
Lambos. But the best thing is there's this group here, and they're notorious for thinking that they like are just on their they think they're just the best. And they'll try to do things like they'll try to do burnouts, they'll try to do donuts, they'll try to do drifts, they'll try to do shutdowns, and it's like they're so bad at it, and that's why everyone goes to the car meets because they know that they're gonna try to show off and just utterly embarrass themselves. It's the best.
So go on then. I
Fun, they're
think
good fun.
this leads us into the next question quite well. So my question to you is what is your favorite car type and why? I think that's the big question. So it's not only what is your favorite car type, but why is it your favorite car type? So I'll start off if you want. So I'll start off. My personal favorite is McLaren. I love McLaren cars. I absolutely love the design they have. That's why. And there's a little part of it, well, a big part of it that is because it's British. I have that like kind of nationalized type like views on it. I won't lie.
You're going to say nationalism.
Nationalist views, yes, on the McLaren, yes, because it's from Britain and I'm British. It just hits different. But go on then. From a Florida point of view, there's plenty of cars made in the US. What is your favorite car type and why? Or it doesn't have to be just the US.
Okay, so see, I I don't know if you're gonna love this or hate this. I can't just leave my JDM cars in the dust.
Yeah.
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 I was
Coming
waiting
out
for
with the JDM cars. No
Yeah,
way.
I used to be in love with 350s, but now it's all about the 240s. No one can hate a 240. I'm sorry. 240s are just quite literally perfect in every way. I'm sorry.
So
I
can
do.
you translate that to a viewer who isn't in touch with cars? Like what kind
Yeah,
of
please
look is
do.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Nissan.
Right, I got you. Yeah.
240
Because-
SX.
No, I agree in the sense that like JDM cars are a different level. Like I won't lie, I'm looking at the car now and the Mazda RX-8 I think it is taking the lead right now. I would kill to have that car. What? No, I shouldn't.
No?
240. I'm sorry. Nothing can take the cake.
Yeah, but like, it's not saying it's the best. Like, would you have one?
Yeah, that's the big question here.
I quite literally will not get a car unless it's 240. I'm sorry.
It needs to be a V8.
Oh, alright.
I see you. Alright, okay. Yeah, because the big thing with me tying me back is insurance costs. Living in the UK, insurance costs are fucking criminal.
Yeah.
But like an RX-8 is the fine mix of a fast JDM car tied in with a reasonable in quotes, insurance costs. So that's why I'm going for that, because I think it's a fast enough car where I get the gist and the enjoyment of a JDM car, but I don't have to suffer the insurance costs of stuff like that.
Yeah. Very true, very true. See, insurance does take a very massive toll. But I don't know if in the UK, do you guys have like different levels of insurance?
Yeah,
I mean,
Because we
insurance.
have,
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Insurance comes under brackets, but most importantly, it comes under like years of experience of driving, and most importantly is gender. But we're not going to get into gender politics today, ladies and gentlemen. That is not a topic for this podcast episode.
Another one. You can look forward to that.
Look forward to that one. Yeah, we'll get based. But so yeah, that's the like big brackets that decide insurance factors and stuff. So what's your thoughts on that then? What's your thoughts on like insurance companies coming out with like different insurance brackets? Like, so for example, for me being 18, 19 now, having currently not owned a car, I will get charged much higher than a woman who is 19 having not driven a car before. What's your thoughts on that?
See, with that, it's like, I don't know, because I see the difference between like an 18, 19-year-old who's never owned a car before and like a 40-year-old who's had a car, you know? Obviously, there's a big difference in that.
Yeah.
Like, because they're expecting the 18 or 19-year-old to be more reckless, you know? But with, like, genders, like, I don't really see, like, a difference, you know? Like, we both have brains.
Yeah,
Oh, no, it's because boys are dumb.
Yeah, no, I agree with Craig. So the big thing with, like, I hate to admit this, but I kind of can see where they're coming from. The amount, like, I've heard from mates and stuff, the amount of crashes and stuff that they've experienced, it's all from, like, people who have like boys usually who have like women in the car, and they're like they're like dragged into like trying to impress the women, and they're like, speed the car, rev the engine, go for it, book it down this road and stuff. It usually ends in catastrophe, so I can sort of see where they're coming from, but like it's a bit wrong. But I mean, as I say, we're not getting into gender politics right now.
And I also feel like when a driving instructor says, a lot of boys are, when a driving instructor says to them, "You've passed your test," what they hear is, "You are the best driver I have ever seen. You are incredible."
I know there's a few moments on my driving like courses and stuff where I was not my courses, sorry, my like lessons and stuff, where my instructor would go to me, "That's cool and all, but if you do that on your test, you'll fail." But alas, here we are. So I think yeah, exactly. We got the license in the end. Let's shift it away from driving and stuff. Craig, what sort of questions have you got? Go on.
So I have like a funny question to follow up that, but then I have like a bit more of a serious one.
Go on,
so like
hit them both.
Serious questions.
So we know why you like cars now, but why do you like cats?
What do I like, cats?
Yeah.
See,
Why
I
do you
feel
have a cat?
that's a
Why
question
do
about-
you think that cats are better than dogs?
Yeah.
I don't think.
Whoa!
Whoa! That's a big assumption. I
You have
like
a
cats
cat
and
with-
dogs. Yes, I have a cat, but I also have 4 dogs.
No, but you don't have the
Hey.
dogs. You chose the cat over the dogs, which means you like cats more than dogs.
No,
But
I
anyway, this is getting too heated.
yeah.
Very
We'll-
based.
we'll-
What do you
wake
like
up
about
first.
cats? Now, what do you like about cats?
Cats, a lot of people hate cats because they're assholes, but that's why I love cats. Because they're so funny, because they love being assholes. It's funny. Like, it's so funny.
So,
Like,
so what you're saying is the asshole element of owning a cat is what brings you closer to owning a cat rather than
Yeah.
a dog.
Controversial.
Yeah.
That put most people
well,
off.
no. I really want a dog. See, with my cat, like, I love my cat with
Irish
everything
Wolfhound?
that I have.
Irish
But,
Wolfhound?
like, I do really want a dog, you know? Like,
think
I
that
love
is
cats
specialist.
just as
Irish
much as I love
Wolfhound.
dogs.
Irish Wolfhound. Would you buy?
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yes, I really want an Irish Wolfhound, actually. That's, like, the dog I want.
Get one from Ireland. Make it a true
Yeah,
Irish.
obviously. You have to.
So
Yeah, important.
I think everyone in the call right now can agree that that any other like small dogs, things like chihuahuas and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Bum that.
It's just unnecessarily loud at all
Exactly.
times.
It's gotta be a big dog. We gotta, you gotta
Yeah.
get something loud
Yeah.
and proud, something to like live it up. Nothing can beat Harry, which is my personal dog. A black
Your
Labrador.
personal companion.
Yeah, a black Labrador. He was named after duct tape, but that's a whole backstory we're not gonna get into right now.
It's just like a 40-pound tank, basically.
I
fuck
do
yeah.
I do have to also ask, because that was a bit of a joke about the whole cat thing. But I am kind of curious. So you're a streamer, and
Yes.
hopefully Josh will leave it down, a link to your channel down in the description.
There should be a link in the
Podcast.
description to Sophie's
But,
stream. Thank you for tuning into podcast. Please check out her stream. She's amazing. But yeah, Craig, back to you.
The question that I have is, what made you want to stream, and why do you stream? Why do you keep on streaming after the initial thought of it? Like,
Craig,
what
I
was the
hate
thought
you
process
because you
and stuff?
beat me to my own question. You beat me to my own question.
I have so many of these. I have so many.
I love that question because for a lot of people it's a lot of different things, you know. There's always like people who are like, oh, like the money, but streaming's a lot more than money, you know. It's really hard to make money while streaming. For me, what genuinely like interested me in it is I've been going on live streaming apps for like my whole like teenage years. And it's quite literally just like having a community and like making friends, you know, because like whenever people watch you and they become regulars, like you really get to know someone and it's like you guys are friends quite literally. And that's really what brought me to streaming, and what keeps me streaming is those people, you know, like they all have their own lives and they're all very interesting and like I all care about them very much, and it's just like it really like whenever you stream it really like kind of lets you forget about all your problems. You just get to talk to like a bunch of cool people who genuinely care about you, and it's fun.
Yeah,
And
Extreme
how do you deal with like the people who are, for lack of a better word, like thirsty and are like kind of harassing you and whatnot? How do you deal with that like on a day to day? Because I feel like after a while that would get quite annoying. And like, how do you
that
do
is a
that?
good question. How do you deal with those
Very
types
good
of
no,
people?
very good no.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, with that, usually I find it very funny. Like, you know, I'll play back and I'll like, if someone's like chatting, like just like trying to start stuff, I'll play it back and I'll play a little, you know, it's like, it's content. But on the bad days, you know, the days where you're not really feeling it and you just genuinely want to just have a chill stream, and those are the days where they mainly seem to come, is on the worst days that they could possibly find. You kind of like, you have to kind of restrain yourself, because I've found through experience that if you just lose your cool and go back at it with everything you have, it turns out to bite you in the butt. So
In what kind of ways? Are we talking like bans here, or are we talking like real kind of like repercussions for these actions? Like, I think
see,
that's it.
I've only banned 2 people, really, you know, like actual people. I've only banned like 2.
And what does that take? How bad do you have to be to get banned? by
How
Sophie?
far do you have to go?
Yeah.
You have to go pretty far with me, because I see everything as like that's content, you know, like yeah, you're in here, you're like trying to like make me mad, but like you're giving me a view, you know?
I feel
Um,
like if you're gonna stream, you have to be a pretty chill person
yeah,
about
you
about
do,
it.
Yeah,
because you can't be picky,
you have to
you know?
tolerate the viewers.
You do.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I mean, in my personal experience, my first stream, I had to ban someone who was advertising shit that was clearly fraud or some type of bullshit. I know
Yeah,
Craig Nolly.
Josh just gets thirsted on a lot when he streams. It happens
Exactly.
like a lot.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, like how do you deal with that? Because you're mainly talking about, at least from what I can tell, is like people who are trying to vex you. But what about people who are trying to like res you up? Like, how do you deal with that? Because I feel like that would be annoying
Yeah,
too.
that's quite annoying. Like, yeah.
See, it's like since I've been on live streaming apps, like a majority of not my life, but you know what I mean, like a majority of my online journey, some would say. I kind of gotten used to it, you know. You just like you can take it in two different ways. You can take it as like, oh my god, this is so annoying, or you can take it as like, yeah, it's not the like most tolerable thing, but like thank you, I appreciate it. Like you just gotta just say what you need to get through it, you know? Because if you're like, oh my god, no, stop it, they're gonna keep going. But if you're just
Yeah,
like, yeah, thank
they almost
you,
want a reaction, don't they?
yeah,
That's
that's
what they're
what
looking
Yeah.
for.
Well, that's what they're looking for. They are looking for the reactions.
yeah, they're looking for attention. That's what they want. It's attention. So if you just say thank you, I appreciate it, and then just like not answer them if they keep going on, they'll just eventually like calm down and just keep watching, you know? You just gotta know how to handle it.
So I think that brings us nicely to that one clip on your Twitch, where the attention was accidentally given. What's your thoughts on that?
Are you talking about
Yeah,
the one where I said the name?
that one clip. I'm not gonna name it because we don't want to give people fame here who don't deserve
Yeah.
it. But like, yes, you know exactly the one I'm on about. Like, what's your thoughts on that clip?
See, that clip was an example of one of the bad days I was having. And someone was genuinely trying to just, as you would say, vex me. And I messed up. I said his name, and he got what he wanted. He clipped it, and he probably watches that every day now. So you just have to
I
refrain.
hope you know the amount of enjoyment that he or she, we don't know for sure, but he or she gets out of that clip.
Yeah, he does. I was having a bad day, and I said his name in a voice. And he now probably watches that every night to fall asleep. It was not a good move on my
You're
part,
still a
but
bit vexed about him, aren't you?
A bit vexed.
a bit vexed, yeah,
Hear the
a bit
bitterness.
vexed. Because like I genuinely tried reasoning with him. I said, it's cool if you want to like I don't care about anything that was said before. If you want to come in here and chill and like enjoy the stream, it's fine. But if you keep doing this, like, it's going to be a problem and we're going to have to ban you and blah, blah, blah. He kept going. And I just had enough. And I did what I wasn't supposed to do and I gave him what he wanted. And don't do that. Highly recommend from personal experience. Don't do it.
It's not worth chasing it up, is it? Is that
It's
what you're
not.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Right.
right. We'll take that into consideration here. But
Now,
like,
just before we move on, remember to like and subscribe, and also make sure that you go down in the description and follow Sophie as well. Very chat. That'd be very cool.
Yes, please do.
And maybe give her a cheeky subscribe too. You know, if you're into the content,
cheeky
you know?
sub if you're feeling special.
sub.
Cheeky sub. Yep. No, in the description I will link all the socials to podcast and everything that ensues. If you want to join us live, there will be a Discord link in the bio. But more importantly, there will be a Twitch link to Sophie. Thank you for joining us here today. Well, the fun continues, is all I can say.
I feel like Craig has another question.
I do actually. Yes.
He's bridging to another question. So go on, Craig. What have you got on the mind? What's on the mind?
I just wanted to finish off the other one by, leaving the socials down there. But so I mean, you can obviously go as personal and as unpersonal as you want, but I know you were in Canada for a while. I don't know if you were born in Canada, but you were in Canada. I'm just curious, like, kind of what was your like early childhood like? Why were you moving to and from Florida to Canada and whatnot? And like, give us a little bit more information about that.
What's wrong with Canada? Why did you leave?
Yeah, why did you leave Canada?
That's kind of the
What did
vibe.
Canada do to you?
What's leaving? You know, what did you gain by leaving Canada?
See, the funny thing is, I didn't just live in Canada. I moved kind of all over the place. I was born in Singapore. Then my family moved back to Canada. And then we moved to New York and back to Canada, and then we moved to Florida. It was all really my dad's job. Like, it moves us around a lot, so I kind of got to see like a bunch of different places. My dad would go on trips and take me. But I can say, out of all the places that I lived, Canada was my favorite.
What is that?
Canada was your favorite.
What's good about Canada? What's
Yeah,
good?
Whereabouts in Canada as well.
Yeah,
we should add.
what leads you to the best parts of Canada being like your favorite in life?
See, I feel like I have an unfair judgment on this because like I have really only lived on like the east side of the United States. Canada, from the places that I've lived, it was just a lot more textured, you know, a lot more hills, a lot more mountains.
I like it.
I loved the cold, you know, I loved having snow days, you know, it was -47 and like I don't have school, so it's like great.
Which
47,
state?
is that
Fahrenheit or Celsius?
No,
is that Fahrenheit or Celsius? We need
See,
to know.
the funny thing is, around -47 it matches up, so it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, right.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's true. Which state in Canada was it?
Which province?
Yeah. Probably.
You live on Beaver Island.
Beaver Island.
No,
No, I
that's
did not
US,
live
Ollie.
on
You should
Beaver
know
Island.
this shit. You should know this
I'm
shit.
sorry. I was like, nah, Craig should know this.
Podcast episode to Beaver Island. where we
Yeah, make
reclaim
sure
it
to
for
watch
Ireland.
podcast
Yeah, tune in
episode
for that
2.
one. Tune in for that one. Coming in a hot minute, but yeah. But
I lived in
yes.
a very small potato town in Ontario, which is where a lot of people live in Canada.
Yeah, Ontario. So I
Yeah.
thought you were going to say Saskatchewan.
No,
That's funny. Because that's funny. Saskatchewan.
no, definitely. No, I lived in Ontario, a very tiny town.
How close to Quebec were you?
Quebec, probably
Yeah.
quite a bit away. I was like,
Okay.
it was probably like an hour away from the border.
Oh, but that's too close. That's too close. See, I'm like a couple of hours away, so like I'm doing better than you. And then
no,
the
not
boys,
a couple
they're doing
hours
even
away
better.
from Quebec, an hour away from like the border to America.
Oh, a couple of hours from Quebec. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair.
see, like the boys, they're doing fairly well in like.
We're literally on the
in
other side of the
UK.
country. We're like 4
But-
hours away.
But the problem is they don't have to deal with Quebec. They have to deal with France. So they have like
Yeah.
a whole different
Alright,
story.
let's just skip. Let's skip over this bit. Yeah, we need to go there.
No. We're going there. We're going there. We're
All right,
going there.
all right.
France is the bane of the existence down here, and that's nothing against any potential or ongoing French viewers. Kai comes to mind, but like
French
it's-
episode when?
French episode when Kai decides he wants to come on podcast, possibly next episode. So do tune into that one. But we don't want to talk about it. The British French problems. Actually, I think this leads us into another question. What's your thoughts on French Canadians?
See, in my personal experience, French Canadians have not always been the nicest to Canadians, and then that could go vice versa. Canadians have not always been nicest to the French Canadians. But personally, like if someone's nice, of course I'll like them. But personally, I've not always been treated the best by them. But you know, a person's a person, so I'm gonna love anyone who's nice to me. But if anyone's mean, I don't love them, you know?
So what you're saying is you don't like the Quebecois. Okay, good to know. Now you heard it here,
Getting
Quebecians.
Getting based in the cold.
She's in Florida. If you want to go get her.
Alright, moving on. You said you lived in New York, right? What was that like? What was New York like?
See, I didn't live in New York City. I lived in boring New York, Buffalo, New York. I have visited New York City quite
I'm
a bit.
sorry. I'm sorry.
So how can you
No,
live
no,
in New
no,
York
no,
and not
no,
live in New
no,
York?
no,
You
no,
basically
no,
didn't
Okay,
live in New
no,
York then, did you?
yeah.
No. Hold on.
We'll let Craig speak. We'll let Craig
Hold on.
speak.
I actually think upstate New York is better than the city.
Yeah.
The city is overhyped. I don't care. Any New Yorker,
No.
you can fight me over this. I will fight you over this. Upstate New York is better, though I do want to say Buffalo is a little bit like, come on, you couldn't go to like Rochester or like like a little bit further than, like from the Canadian border. No, like although you
Yeah.
are near Niagara Falls, so you know what? Actually, I take it back. That's pretty
See,
big.
the funny thing is, when I know I lived in New York,
Yes.
Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York. You heard it here.
But that is near the Niagara Falls, so that's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it is. It quite literally is Niagara Falls. Yes.
Well,
that's
no,
the one thing you got going for you.
There you go. Yep. There you go.
Apart from that, no, nothing. Not interested.
Live it up. Live it up. Nice and proud.
See, I lived in New York, but I basically lived in Canada.
yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what's going on.
But I have an excuse. I'm Canadian, you know?
You just wanted to dip your toe.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to dip my toe in America.
That's
And like
fair.
it went straight back to Canada instead.
That's
yeah.
fair.
yeah.
Then ended up in Florida of all places.
Yeah, the quite opposite of Canada, Florida.
Yeah. And how was that adjusting? Going from like Canada to
Yeah,
Florida.
going from like negative Celsius like temperatures to
Plus
like
Celsius is-
X amount Celsius. Like, how was the adjustment period?
See, it was funny because one of the first things was we drove down. We didn't fly. We drove. And on the drive down, my brother said, "I wonder how long it's gonna take for it to stop feeling like a vacation." The second we got here, it stopped feeling like a vacation. Like, there's such a difference between like Orlando, Florida. Like, I'm going on a vacation. I'm in Disney. Than like actual Florida. It's not.
Okay.
It was an adjustment. I cried on my first day of school. It was quite a bit of an adjustment, I'd say. The people are like, there's just a whole different vibe from Florida to Canada.
And are you like northern or southern Florida? Because they are two kind of different countries in
Yeah.
themselves.
I'm northern Florida.
Oh, okay. So you're okay.
North
I was-
You know,
I was
you're
gonna
not in the
say
proper touristy bit.
No, I was gonna say some racism, but I'm not going to.
Craig, let's just steer clear of that. We don't want to get banned.
Yeah, come on, Craig. We don't want to get banned, alright?
Yeah, she's in the bayou, you know.
Not
I'm in the actual Florida part of Florida, not the tourist part.
Yeah.
the actual Florida part of Florida, right? I like.
Yeah,
that.
no, that's true. That's actually
It just means that she gets the real Florida experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I get that real, just genuine Florida experience.
Exactly.
That was fun. You near Tallahassee? Let's be real.
No,
No, we don't want to dox you, but like I'm just making jokes here.
I'm not near. I'm on the opposite side.
Wow. Tallahassee's the coolest city ever.
Have you been there, Craig?
Yeah.
You've been to Tallahassee?
Yeah.
What was it like?
It was so based.
Based?
Everyone from Tallahassee,
Based.
much
good,
love.
Good description.
Although,
good
maybe
description.
learn how to spell. That's all I care. That's
Alright,
pretty much it.
Pretty based then, alright.
There we go. We've heard it here first from the Irishman himself. Learn
Who
to
has-
spell. If
The
you're
Irishman
from
who's been to Tallahassee. You are based and you need to learn how to spell. Okay.
Exactly. That's pretty much it. But yeah, that's more or less my questions. If any of you have any more. to ask
Well,
me.
I had one. I was told the other day that you had a paranormal experience.
Oh yeah.
I have. I do live in one of the most haunted cities.
What city is that?
That'd be St. Augustine, Florida, the oldest city in the United States.
There you go. Fun
Wow.
fact.
So
Oh, alright.
it's like 50 years old. No way.
There you go. Fun
No,
fact, ladies,
1500s.
real.
1500s. Come
ladies
on.
and gentlemen, you have learned something today if you are tuning in. Yep, so St. Augustine is the oldest city in the United States. There you go. So
That's what we're here for. We're here to bring out of their facts that are strange and no one else would ever know to the people.
Yeah, the out of their facts are the best facts to bring.
The best facts.
So yeah, what kind of experience did you have then, paranormal?
I've had a couple. I have had a couple. Some were just like kind of like maybe coincidental, like a little too much to be coincidental. Can say I did not believe in ghosts before I moved here. But there's just one that took the cake.
So do you believe in ghosts now?
Yes, definitely,
Ooh,
100%. Like it was like most of the things were just kind of like too like really scary to the part like to the fact that I was like quite literally like shaking in me boots to
Shiver me
not
timbers.
shivering me timbers to not be like, oh my god, no, I totally don't believe in ghosts. This can't be real. No, like I've been terrified to the point where it's like, yeah, no, there's definitely no way that this can't be like a thing.
Oh, go on. What was your scariest experience?
Scariest experience?
Share
What
the
happened?
trauma.
What happened?
Share the trauma.
Share the trauma. Okay. Hold on, I need a drink for this one, boys.
She's going in.
Drinking
All right, we're all
intermission.
drinking all the time. It's fine.
Drinking intermission. Here we go.
Yeah, you guys better chug. Come on, this is podcast.
you mean?
I'm not chugging.
Podcast?
Yeah, I'm not chugging a bottle of wine, but
Go on.
we're getting
Bet.
through. We're getting through.
Okay, fine. But, so me and my old friend, we loved taking pictures. We were young, you know. We were like, oh my god, we have to make our Instagrams like so good. And we were always trying to find this one place. So we saw everyone taking pictures, but we wanted it to be at night, you know. We wanted it to be like, oh my god, like so different and edgy. We were like that, you know, like horrible, but ew. So we figured out where it was, you know, and it was right after a hurricane, and it was in this church. And the bridge to get to this place may or may not have been closed because of said hurricane. So we may or may not have had to sneak around the bridge. So after we got through said maybe closed bridge, we had to walk through a graveyard to get there because it was the point of the like time of day where it's like the sun just set, so it's like you can still see, like it's still like kind of bright.
Dusk,
Yeah, it's dusk. It's
Thank you.
dusk, you know, like you can kind of see everything still kind of light, but there's like no like sun beating down on you. So we had to walk through this graveyard. I was carrying a pizza, which will come into play later. And we were walking and we were looking for this place because we knew it was over there, but we didn't know where. So we were walking through the graveyard, and out of the corner of my eye, I see something moving, and it's lighter than everything else since it's dusk. Like it's lighter, but it's like still dark outside, but light. It's hard to explain, but you know what I mean. And I look at it and it's still there. You know how you see something out of the corner of your eye and you look at it and it's like gone and you're like, okay. I was expecting that to happen, but it didn't, and that quite literally made me, like, my stomach just drop. And I was looking at it for a good 5 seconds, and that's all I could take before I started freaking out. It was probably about, like, 3 feet tall. And it was, like, kind of just like a blob. Like, it didn't really have a shape to it, but it, like, there's a difference between walking and just, like, moving. You know, there's, like little stops and, like, a little motion in walking. And it was kind of doing that. And I started freaking out. I threw the pizza at it. And I was screaming. I was like, we need to get out of here. We need to get out of here now. Like, you do not see that. And at first she looked at me like I was insane. Because who wouldn't? I was just screaming bloody murder. And she looked and she saw it too. So we ran. We fell in the water around maybe said closed bridge. Um, and so we fell in the water. We literally had to swim out, and we ran and never returned. I still have never gone there ever again. I refuse to, but that
Oh,
was one of
So
the
do,
most.
do you think you saw like a kid or something?
It had
Yeah.
to be like it was short. Like I don't know. Like I feel like if it was not a kid, it would be bigger. Like it was
Did,
quite. It was 3 feet tall.
did you speak Spanish to it?
No, I threw a pizza at it, and
Okay,
I
and how
ran.
how do you think that made the
Maybe it
ghost
was
go?
hungry.
Like maybe it was just looking for a friend.
It was a good-looking pizza. I was really excited for that pizza, but I was scared because I threw it, and I did not get a single piece of that pizza, and I'm still depressed about that to this day.
I
Let's,
know.
let's open this up to the floor. What do you guys think about ghosts and all that?
Yeah.
What do you guys believe?
Who's
Craig?
going first?
Go on,
I'll
Craig.
first.
Go on, Craig. Take it. Take it away.
So it's kind of like the similar thing with like what I said in podcast episode, like episode 2 podcast. Go watch that if you haven't. Very very epic podcast episode.
Irishman.
But I think it's kind of the same thing that I think of religion, where it's like there's just so much documentation about it, and even like cultures, like if you look at like medieval Europe and you look at like China at that time, they had no contact that they really knew that they existed. And even if you go to like Native American cultures, they all have some sort of spiritual ghost sort of thing, which means like they have to be real. Like they literally have to be real because it's a part of the human experience, and every culture throughout humanity has had some form of like banshee, like it would be in Ireland would be the banshee, but like every culture has something got to do with like that. So yeah, I definitely have to like say I believe in them.
Personally, as like I'm a guy who kind of needs proof. I'm not good at just believing in stuff. I kind of need proof to see that it exists, and not having had that proof, like I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I could believe in that kind of stuff. I feel like like because you see all these videos online of like people who've had paranormal experiences and stuff, and a lot of it is just like very questionable. It's just like, yeah, it's just a shape sort of moving for a second or something like that. Like it's not. There's no real concrete evidence that they actually exist. And I feel like because there've been all these things for like hundreds of years, people who have apparently seen ghosts and all that kind of stuff, like surely by now, especially with like modern day technology and cameras and all that kind of stuff, there must be some, like, surely by now there'd be some kind of proof, concrete proof that they actually exist, but like
maybe that
it's
makes it
all
harder.
very questionable. Maybe, who knows? Ugh.
Yeah.
Josh, you still here?
I think Josh died.
He's chugging.
I might have done, but you know what?
He's
It's alright.
chugging.
Me and Craig, co-hosts, will take over from here.
Exactly,
Next
First, we're
episode will be hosted purely by me and Craig. We're
purely by
taking
us.
over slowly.
Exactly, yeah.
You don't need him anymore.
That's exactly what I was looking
He's
for.
done.
It's alright.
We've
But,
taken over podcast.
Exactly. So, Sophie, you have any questions for us?
Yeah, is there anything you want to say, or even about yourself, if you want to explain yourself more?
I
than we
hate
might?
talking about myself. So,
Do you want to ask us any questions about, us or anything?
So, Cog, you said that you believe in ghosts. Have
do,
you
yeah.
ever had a paranormal experience or no?
Not that I can say. I definitely have. Like I've seen some freaky stuff,
Mhm.
and like, so I kind of give you the story. So there's this one time. It was quite late at night because of course these things happen at fucking night. It's just typical.
Oh, of course.
And
they
like,
always do.
and I was down by like there's like a church quite near my house. It's like maybe a 5-minute walk down the street, if even. And it kind of has its own like big grounds behind it, that has like a center in it for like people to like meet up and whatnot. And then it has like a big parking lot back there as well. And then it has like a retirement home and a nursing home like along this other road that goes behind the church. It's fairly like built up and whatnot, but we were there at like nighttime, me and one of my friends. And this is like a few years ago now. So I'd say it's about 4-ish years, maybe 5 years ago. And we were just walking down this way, and we done this the whole time. Like we done it before this day, and we done it after. Like we just went around walking in laps and stuff, and we just come by here every now and then. But we went down this road anyway, along where like the retirement home is, and like the old like nursing home where like people are, you know, chilling and whatnot. And it's kind of a dark road. There's like trees on kind of either side. There's actually a bit of a field, and then like an old kind of like castle. Like it's the back of a castle, and then the other side is like the retirement home, the nursing home, and then trees kind of in between it to block the view. And we were just walking down this road anyway, and then all of a sudden we just start hearing a chain be off like a wall, right? And I'm not joking. I looked for the chain. I looked in the area that the chain was in. I even went there the next day to see if there was a chain. There was no chain, okay? But we heard a chain beating off this wall. We were like, what the fuck? That's a bit weird, right? So we kept on going anyway. We just kept on walking. And then it starts getting louder as we're walking away. And we were like, what the fuck? That's a bit weird. So then,
it's just Jason at Friday the 13th. So.
Yeah.
So then we were like, you know what? Yeah, fuck this. We're just gonna run. And my friend has asthma, so I just left him behind. He slipped. I was like, look, he's gone.
Right.
He's gone. Right, that's
That.
right. End of. Right. And like I started laughing, so I started like losing my strides as well. But it was quite funny. But we ended up getting out and back onto the main street, and both of us were just laughing our fucking tits off. So then we start like walking down the main street, and along like the left hand side there's like a big rugby pitch, right? And this is connected to the like other church area that has a big field behind it as well. It's kind of hard to explain these things, but I'm giving you a picture. And I'm not gonna lie, I could just be like overthinking, and I was overstimulated, to be fair, at the time. But I saw this like really long, slender, like dark figure just like strolling along. But like the thing is, I still like understand that like I was thinking a lot already about it, so I could have just seen shadows myself. But it was quite weird. It was quite weird, and we were like, what the heck? And then we ended up leaving. And there was another time where like sounds tend to follow us more than anything else. We were just walking down this road, and there's like a big hedge on our right hand side, and in the hedge there was like you know, there's like, I don't know if you, I'm sure people in England will know them, like the green like spiky fences.
Yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you're about.
you know what I'm on
I've
about,
seen
right?
this before,
and
yeah.
they're like railways and stuff a lot of the time. Yeah. So I had that in the bush. So like there was a hedge, and then that was in the bush. And we were just walking along it, and then we just started hearing like a clanking in it. And the thing is, it wasn't really windy or anything, and like we once again didn't like run away immediately. We're like, well, what the fuck is that sound? And then it like started like following us, right? So as we were walking, the sound is going bang, bang, bang right beside us. So then we're like, all right, let's speed up a little bit. So we speed up a little bit, and then it starts going bang, bang, and it's still beside us. And then we fucking start running again because we're like, fuck this. And then it's just bang, 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 like right beside us, and it was quite freaky. But like, they're the only two things that I have. But I don't know. I don't see them as proof, but it were just odd moments in my life. You know, anomalies.
I think,
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think odd moments is what, like, I mean, I personally haven't had any like experiences to convince myself that they like things like ghosts and like paranormal activities do exist. But it's the odd moments where you really start to question those facts.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like those sort of moments, like really make you question how much do I actually know about what I'm experiencing right now.
Things I feel like that's just like, because like Craig said, they always tend to be at night, and at night people are more sort of like alert,
edge,
you know,
generally,
on edge, that kind of stuff. I feel like it's just like in that moment, the
Could
like
be overthinking.
fear that catches you makes you think like, what is this? And you lose like rational thinking.
Yeah.
And that's what leads to this kind of
I
thing.
agree, because I mean maybe that's just me newly trying to cope to things. But who knows? I think, Ollie, if you got any questions, or Craig.
Nah, I'm sort of out.
I am out of questions myself. Craig, have you got any questions?
I mean, I do have one more question.
Go on, let's finish it.
And I was gonna kind of leave it till the end.
Nah, come on, let's finish it up with one final question.
And we can cut this if it's no good, to be fair. We can just skip to the end. But the last question is like, what do you think of just like the world and like recent news that's been going on around the world and all these different things? Like, it's a very broad question, but in general, like, what's your view on the world right now? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Do you think we could be improving in areas? Like, what kind
Let's
of...
get specific with it. Biden or Trump?
Biden or Trump coming out the gate.
I wasn't thinking of that, to be fair. I was thinking of like other things, but
She's American. Biden or Trump?
See, with that question,
she lives in Florida.
Exactly.
yeah, I don't really think either, you know, because, like, obviously, like, in my personal opinion, and I think everyone can agree with this, I don't think Biden... Why did the music stop? I don't think...
Updating the song.
I don't think Biden is really mentally capable, you know. I don't think that's a hidden fact.
Yeah.
I failed to walk up a flight of stairs, I can't lie.
Yeah. With Trump, you know, he did go to Korea, you know. He did do a lot of things, like he made progress towards Russia, but at the same time, like, he wasn't the best either. So I think, like, maybe someone who...
Ron DeSantis, let's go, Florida man.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But I don't think we should have someone who's, like, should be in a retirement home.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Shade. But, you know, those are just my thoughts.
I feel like we got the same sort of situation over here in the UK. Like, not the exact same, but I feel like they're both Tories and Labour. Like, I wouldn't really want either, to be honest.
Yeah, they're kind of out of touch.
I don't really like.
Yeah.
I don't really like either, and they're realistically the only two that are going to be, you know, going to be in Parliament or whatever.
No, we don't inherently have a two-party system over here, but like it basically is.
Same over here.
Like, other than those two parties, there are a few that like swing about and claim seats here and there, but like it doesn't really sway the overall like government.
Yeah, we've got two massive parties and then just a few small ones to go along with it. I vote Green.
For Green Party.
Green Party. They get like one seat per election and just there for the conservation and that.
Just sit in and listen to the talks. Vote Green.
Let's not tell people what to do, alright? We're not getting political. There's not actually telling people what to do.
Oh yeah, maybe. Okay.
I think that's it.
I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Is that it? Is that what we're? Is that that?
I don't know.
I know is
we could teach us some British slang, but you know.
That's another episode.
No, yeah, that can be a different. That can be an episode.
Or it could be a stream. Check out a stream.
Yeah.
Ollie and
British
Fridge
slang
need to come
stream coming
here.
soon.
Ollie and Fridge need to come here so they can experience some paranormal activity, so they can believe.
Yeah, I will come to whatever your town's called and experience some paranormal
I'm down
activity.
for some absolutely like
shenanigans.
I'm down for a pizza at a ghost.
Good, because you will get some. I promise you.
I'll actually launch a pizza at a ghost or something.
Launch a pizza.
Oh, we're keeping the pizza this time, please.
We're keeping the pizza, right? Okay.
I want.
We keep the pizza though.
Right.
Alright, I'll just launch Josh at the ghost instead.
Right.
Just leave.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Ollie. I think that is I think that's all she wrote today. thank you everyone for tuning in. It has been an absolute pleasure. I've been Josh, and Craig has been Craig, and Ollie.
I have been me, to be fair.
And I have been Ollie.
Ollie
Let's
has
go.
been Ollie, and a special mention from us three here at Podcast ?
Podcast?
Thank you, Sophie, for coming in.
Thank you
It has
for
been an
having me.
absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming in, having a few stories and stuff, bit of a laugh, couple drinks,
Mhm.
all that jazz.
A lot of drinks.
A lot of drinks. Yeah, you're telling me.
Do make sure that you follow her and maybe give her a cheeky sub. Don't forget that.
Yes.
It will be
And,
usual. Check out all the links
and-
down below. They'll all be there.
And if we get to 50 subs, we're going to have a special guest. So
A special guest.
Special guest.
Sophie will also be coming back for that. We can reveal that. But
Yeah.
you know, it's special guest. We need to get to 50 subs, ladies and
We
gentlemen.
do.
So please push us towards that. That'd be very epic.
Like, subscribe, comment, share.
Exactly.
Share it
Do
to
all
your
do
loved
all of the
ones.
things.
Yeah.
Just don't share it on Twitter, please.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, please.
Yeah, not
please
Twitter.
don't.
Avoid that.
We'll
Avoid
literally
that
take
particular
Reddit over
rabbit
Twitter.
hole.
We'll take Reddit over
Reddit
Twitter.
over Twitter. Reddit over
4chan over
Twitter.
Twitter.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
exactly.
Oh, I don't know.
But anyway,
But yeah, thank you for all tuning in. All the links will be in the descriptions below. As Craig rightly said, please do check out Sophie's streams. She streams quite regularly.
when do you stream? Do you have
any fixed days?
Mostly every days except Tuesdays and Sundays.
There you go.
There you
Go
go.
there.
Mostly every day except Tuesdays and Sundays.
Yeah, go to church on Sunday. There you go.
There you
Yeah, go to church.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. All that jazz. I will see you all in the next one, and hopefully Wolfie will be back on the next one. Although I must
No,
say,
it'll be me and Craig again.
exactly, I must say, Craig and Ollie, you have done a stellar job at subbing in as co-hosts today.
No worries.
Right.
I know.
In a bit, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good one.